Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning into today's video. We've got a divisive subject to talk about today, but just before we start, huge shout out to the God of War and Uncharted channel members. Thank you so much guys for your support on the channel. If you're new here to the channel, consider subscribing and becoming a channel member and get yourself some exclusive perks. Right then, over the years, the cost of gaming has steadily risen. It wasn't too long ago when brand new games cost around $50, then 60, and now in most cases around $70. But with the recent developments in the gaming industry, prices are creeping even higher, with some upcoming releases reaching $80 or more. The change has caused a major discussion amongst gamers. Is the price increase justified, or are publishers taking advantage of consumers? Let me ask you the question, why are price hikes a problem? Let me know in the comments down below. The price of a new game has always been a hot topic. It's subjective. What one person considers a great game may not be worth the same to somebody else. Factors like visual quality, game length, storytelling, and the overall experience influence whether a game feels worth its price. However, the problem arises when all publishers then start pricing their games at the highest possible rate, regardless of the actual value that that game provides. In today's gaming market, a $70 price tag has become the norm. Even if a game launches in a broken state, lacks visual polish, or fails to meet expectations, there was a time when high prices could be justified for specific studios or certain games, and it was typically due to the development costs or the size and scope of the game. But now every publisher assumes that their game deserves the same premium pricing. This blanket approach ignores the quality differences and forces players to pay more for potentially underwhelming experiences. So is Nintendo's price tag for their games, is that the new standard? Because following the announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2, new details about the games and pricing have started to surface. And one of the most shocking revelations was the cost of the upcoming titles like Mario Kart World, which will be priced at a staggering $80. Meanwhile, Donkey Kong Bonanza, which will launch at $70, is aligned with other AAA releases. The Nintendo digital games will be around 80 quid, and if you want a physical copy, you'll be paying close to around $90. For many gamers, the idea of paying 80 quid for a game is unprecedented and concerning. While PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series gamers have settled down at around $70, Nintendo is pushing that boundary even further. The worry is that other publishers such as Sony and Microsoft may follow Nintendo's lead and establish $80 as the new standard in gaming. Gamers have taken to forums and social media to express their frustration. Many state that if the price continues to rise, they will stop buying games at launch altogether, opting to wait for discounts. Others feel alienated altogether, especially collectors who prefer physical editions, as the cost of owning new games becomes increasingly unreasonable. So what is the bigger picture? The economic factors and the tariffs to consider, because the rising cost in gaming isn't just due to publisher greed. I mean, that's a big part, but it's not just the only part. There's other external economic factors to also consider. The USA has launched multiple new tariffs that will significantly impact the price of imported goods, including gaming consoles. So starting on the 5th of April 2025, a 10% tariff will be applied to all imported goods, with additional levies affecting 60 countries just a few days later. So China, where the PlayStation 5 is mass produced, amongst other products, that will be hit with a tariff of at least 54%. And as a result, the cost of importing a PS5 console will skyrocket, and those costs will likely be passed down to consumers. So early estimates suggest that a PS5 digital could cost around $750, while a PS5 Pro could reach a staggering $1,300 after tariffs take effect. While these figures are speculative, the reality is that gaming hardware is about to get even more expensive. Sony has already started preparing for the potential impact by stockpiling PS5s in the US and exploring alternative production locations. However, this is only a temporary solution. If tariffs remain high, the cost of gaming hardware and the accessories will continue to climb, making gaming an increasingly expensive hobby. Okay, so if buying games is so expensive, should we shift to subscription services, or are they a double-edged sword? With game prices increasing, many publishers are pushing subscription-based gaming services as an alternative, and they might even be attractive to a lot of people now given the price of games. Xbox Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, and other services offer players access to a library of games for a monthly fee. On paper, this seems like a great deal. You pay a fixed amount each month and you get access to dozens, if not hundreds of games. provided those games are suitable and of interest to you. However, there is a downside, and that is that you don't actually own any of the games. Unlike physical or digital purchases where you can keep and replay your games whenever you want, subscription services operate like rentals. They are rentals, right? Once a game is removed from the catalog or the service is shut down, you lose access to it. This raises concerns about gaming preservation and long-term access to purchased content. And additionally, the rise of subscription models could lead to games being designed differently. Instead of focusing on creating a complete and polished experience, developers might prioritize content that keeps players subscribed, such as live service mechanics, seasonal updates, and battle passes. I think we're seeing a lot of this in many of these subscription services, and that shift would fundamentally change the way games are being made and enjoyed. So really, what is the future of gaming? What does come next? Because with prices increasing and gaming becoming more expensive, many players are wondering, where is the industry headed? And if $80 for a game becomes the new standard for game prices and tariffs make hardware more costly, fewer people will be able to afford gaming as a hobby. That, of course, will lead to lower sales and more reliance on microtransactions and an increased push towards subscription-based gaming. And at the same time, players have more options than ever before. Indie games and older titles are often providing excellent experiences at a fraction of the cost of a new game. Game sales and discounts also offer opportunities to buy games at a more reasonable price. However, the alternatives don't change the fact that the major publishers are setting prices higher and higher. And there's little indication that this trend is going to slow down, because typically once a price is set, that's it, it's set. Ultimately, the future of gaming will be shaped by how players respond. If consumers push back against price hikes and refuse to buy games at launch, publishers may be forced to reconsider their pricing strategies. But if people continue to pay higher prices, the industry will continue raising costs. Either way, gaming is entering a very interesting era, one where affordability and accessibility are at risk. It's a fascinating space right now, and if you watch the vibes across social media, there's a lot of people complaining about the price of the Nintendo Switch 2 and the games being priced at $80 to $90. Yet, what are the odds that those same people will be the first ones to turn to social media to share that they have pre-ordered or purchased the said game? It's exactly what happened during the PS5 Pro launch, right? The same kind of vibes. Look, it's not great that the game prices are going up. However, this is just unfortunate, and it's the state of not just the gaming industry, but many industries across the world. My take on it is simple. If you remember the mid to late 90s, you may recall the Super NES games. Back then, they were priced at $50 to $70. Chrono Tiger released at $80 on launch day for the Super NES, and Donkey Kong Country released at $60. Remember, this is the 90s. If you adjust those games for inflation, you're talking 120 quid. So trust me, when I say that we still have it good, I really mean it. We still have it good when it comes to games. No one is forcing anyone to go out and buy these games. If you desperately need to or want to play a game on launch, you're going to have to pay whatever the launch price is. If you're okay to wait, then just wait 6 months for a price drop, and you can then be able to purchase the game at a more affordable price. What are the odds on Grand Theft Auto being $100 on launch? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.